Welcome back. All right, so we got 5 games on Sunday. So again, doing the preview video on Saturday to post Sunday. We've got a 1 o'clock Eastern start, which is 10 a.m. Pacific, and then we've got 4 evening games from there, but they're all spread out, so relatively easy night for me. Starting with Winnipeg and against Pittsburgh. So November 22nd, Pittsburgh went into Winnipeg. They won that game 3-1, so this is the final meeting between them. Winnipeg's now 17, 14, and 6. It's not going great. Last 10 games, they're 4-5-1. They've lost 2 in a row. And they had a jump in the first period against Boston, and then it fell apart. Away from home, they're now 7-8-5. So that's a problem. The Pittsburgh Penguins, 25-10-5 overall over their last 10. They are 8-2. They've won 4 in a row. At home, they're 11-5-2. So everything's going really well for Pittsburgh. They've been rolling, and so for Winnipeg, that's not great news considering that this is the second half of a back-to-back for them. Then at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific, we've got the Ottawa Senators in against Columbus. This should be interesting. You have Columbus, who should be able to get back to 500, never get over 500 now, and Ottawa, who play spoiler pretty well. So 11-20-3 is the record for Ottawa. Last 10, they're 4-4-2. They did lose in overtime tonight against the Caps. Away from home, they're 6-10-3 now. So Ottawa, we'll see if they play spoiler in the first of 3 meetings with Columbus tomorrow. Columbus 18-19-1 over their last 10. They're 4-6. They lost their last game, and at home they're 11-7-1. So March 15th and April 22nd will be the other 2 meetings between these teams. And again, for Columbus, it is really at a point in the season where they need to get rolling. They need to get some wins strung together, and so a win over Ottawa would definitely help them out with that. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. 4 o'clock Pacific is the start time between LA and the New Jersey Devils. November 5th, these teams met in LA. The Kings won that meeting 3-2 in overtime. LA's 20-16-5 on the season. Over their last 10, they're 4-6. They lost 3 in a row. But again, I think they're playing relatively well in those losses. This road trip's going to tell us a lot. Away from home, they're 7-6-3. If LA is going to hold on to that playoff spot, they need a good road trip. For New Jersey, 15-19-5 is the record now. Over their last 10, they're 5-5. They won against Carolina. They're going to try to win back-to-backs. We'll see what they do. At home, they're now 10-8-3. So they're respectable at home. You can't take them lightly. Then 2 hours later, 9 o'clock Pacific, or 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific, the Seattle Kraken are at home against Florida. Here's the interesting thing. So Florida, virtually unbeatable at home. Seattle won in Florida 4-1 on November 27th, right? So Florida, I expect them to kind of lay a beating on Seattle. Also because Florida almost lost that game against Vancouver, the Abbotsford Canucks and all that. So 28-8-5 is now the record for Florida. Over their last 10, they are 8-1-1. They've won 2 in a row. Away from home, they're 7-5-5. So they're coming off of a win over Edmonton, which was a cakewalk. And then there was the shootout win over Vancouver. We'll see how things go tomorrow. But again, 7-5-5 away from home. We'll see what that record does. Seattle, 12-24-4 overall is their record. Over their last 10, they're 2-7-1. They did lose their last game in spectacular fashion against St. Louis. And at home, they're 8-13-2. So Seattle's not very good at home. And again, I'm anticipating a big win for Florida. But I thought Florida was going to get a big win over Vancouver too, and it just didn't happen. Then at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific, the St. Louis Blues in against the Vancouver Canucks. And I'm wearing Blues because I think the Blues should win this tomorrow. Vancouver's still dealing with a lot of guys out of the lineup. Both their starting and backup goaltenders, as far as I know, still going to be out for this game. DiPietro might be the goaltender. Maybe they go back to Martin. So St. Louis is 24-11-5 on the season. Over their last 10, they're 7-3. They have won 2 in a row coming into this one. Away from home, surprisingly mediocre road record at 8-7-3. So again, it'll be interesting to see how some of these teams that have maybe a mediocre road record, haven't played on the road as much as at home, how things turn out for them. Vancouver, though, 18-18-4 over their last 10. They're 5-3-2. Overtime loss against Florida, which they'll take in their last game. At home, they're 8-7-2. This is the first of 3 meetings. The second and third meetings will be on March 28th and March 30th. So they play in St. Louis on the 28th and then in Vancouver on the 30th. That's a short turnaround considering these cities aren't really close to one another. But we'll see how tomorrow night's games go. So let me know your predictions in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.